Apples, Apples, Apples. Written and illustrated by Nancy Elizabeth Wallace. And friends, this is another Scholastic book. If you go to the book order, you can order books like this too. Apples, apples, apples. If we look at this picture, we can see that there's snow on the tree. Do you think that this tree was in the winter, the summer, the spring, or the fall? On this tree, we see blossoms. Those are spring blossoms and flowers, aren't they? This is an apple blossom tree. Before the apples grow, they turn into little flowers. One blue sky day in early autumn, Dad asks, "Who wants to go apple picking?" Me, yelled Minna. Me, shouted Pip. Me too, said Mom. Let's go. They walked down the road to Long Hill Orchard. Glad to see you, said Mr. Miller. Here are some bags to put your apples in. What kind do you want to pick? I want apples for pie, said Dad. I need apples for crafts, said Mom. Yum, yelled Pip. I'm going to pick apples for my snack at school. Minna whispered, I want apples for a surprise. What do you think her surprise will be? And look, if you look here, you can see the different kinds of apples. They had Red Delicious, Golden Delicious, Macintosh, Granny Smith, and Rome Beauty. And here on this chart, it shows which apples are good for eating, which apples are good for cooking, for baking, which ones are sweet, which ones are tart, which ones are soft, and which ones are crisp. Come look at this chart, said Mr. Miller. It shows the kinds of apples we grow in our orchard. And that's the chart that I just explained to you. I can't wait to see the apple tree, said Minna. Climb aboard, said Mr. Miller. They all climbed onto the farm wagon. Mr. Miller started up the tractor. Hold on, he said. It's a bumpy, bumpy ride. The sky was blue. The air smelled crisp and clean. It was a great day for picking apples. When they got to the orchard, there were apples everywhere. Pig tugged onto an apple. The limb shook, and lots of apples fell to the ground. Uh-oh! Try lifting and twisting the apple, said Minna. Then pull out on it gently. I read that in my apple book. Look, Minna, said Pip. Lift, twist, pluck. I can do it. Lift, twist, pluck. They all picked and picked and picked. Mr. Miller used a special tool for picking the apples that were hard to reach. He let Minna and Pip have a turn. Then Mr. Miller picked up an apple from the ground. He cut it in half. It looks like a star inside, said Pip. Minna said, I think it looks like a flower. It looks like both a star and a flower, said Mr. Miller. In fact, apples are a member of a flower family, the rose family. They counted the seeds. There may be as many as 10 seeds inside an apple, said Mr. Miller. How many seeds do you see? 5, said Minna. Mr. Miller cut another apple in half, a different way. Look at all the parts of an apple, he said. You can see the stem, the skin, the core, and the flesh. Did you know that seeds are called pips? Asked Mr. Miller. Minna pointed at Pip. They both giggled. Mr. Miller, do you grow trees from seeds? Minna asked. Well, apple trees can be grown from seeds. He took pictures from his pocket to show them. Here's a seed. Here's the root and the bud. There's the root again. Or they can be grown the way that we grow them. At Long Hill Orchard, we graft a branch with buds onto a root stock. He showed them more pictures. Here's the branch with the buds, here's the rootstock, and here is the grafted branch. Minna and Pip looked at the shiny seed. I'll be Johnny Appleseed, said Minna. I read about him. He planted lots and lots and lots of seeds across America. They grew into apple orchards everywhere. Look, Minna, I'm Johnny Appleseed, I'm Johnny Applepip. When their bags were filled to the top, they rode back down the hill. Hold on, said Mom. Bump, bump, bump. Whoa! Minna laughed. Hold on to your apples. Mr. Miller weighed the bags of fruit so that he would know how much to charge. Apple picking is fun, said Minna. So is apple eating, said Dad. And look at the different things they made. Apple cider, apple pie, apple spice, apple butter. When they got home, they had an apple snack. The apples tasted sweet and juicy. Minna looked through her book. Here it is, she said. Here's the surprise recipe I want us to try. Time to make Minna's special surprise recipe, said Dad. Pip washed the apples. Minna and Mom used a special tool to peel them. Dad sliced and diced them. So here is her recipe. They wash the apples and peel them. They dice them and slice them. Then they add 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Okay? Then they add 1 cup of apple cider. They ask an adult to bring this to a boil. That means to make it super hot and bubbly. And then you shake in the cinnamon, reduce the heat to just a very low simmer, and cook it until it's soft. It should cook for about 20 minutes. They put the apples, the maple syrup, the cider, and the cinnamon into a big blue pot. Then Mom put it on top of the stove to simmer. It smelled delicious. When it was ready, Minna spooned it out into bowls. Who wants some? She asked. Me, said Pip. Me, said Mom. Me too, said Dad. They all said, Yum! Applesauce. Minna read more about apples. She learned how to make apple prints. So here's a craft that you could do, friends. She cut the apple and she made a little stamp so that she could make stars with the seeds. And she read about apple sayings. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. High order. Everything is in the right place. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. An apple for the teacher. You are the apple of my eye. You are full of applesauce. Do you know any other apple sayings? Here's an apple song that Minna sang. I'm not going to sing it to you right now, but there it is so you can see. And then she can see the apples. This is the apples once it's fall. And there's the yellow ones and the red ones. That was a fun book, and it even gave us some recipes. Have a good day. Bye.